Hello, gentle viewers. This is Avguardian, welcoming you to a new series for this channel. I'm calling this Baseball 101 featuring Out of the Park Baseball 26. This is not like my Friday series. The purpose of this series isn't to teach you how to play OTP 26, although we'll certainly do that along the way. My audience for this video is someone who knows nothing about baseball whatsoever. I want to teach you how baseball works and to help you get into this fantastic game and fantastic sport. So that's what we're gonna do. In today's video, we're gonna play through a full game from start to finish. Specifically, I chose the 2016 World Series. That's a new thing in OTP 26 this year, is that you can pick any World Series in history and you can basically play it over again. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna play one single game with the 2016 Cleveland Guardians. At the time, they're called the Indians, but they're not called the Guardians, and the 2016 Chicago Cubs. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. I'll be playing as the Guardians, and I'm just gonna teach you as much as I can about baseball in the course of one game. Of course, if you have questions along the way, please let me know in the comments. The next video in this series, we're going to break down statistics. So I'm not going to talk about statistics too terribly much today. This is all just going to be about the baseball. All right. I think we can go ahead and get started. I've never played a live game in OTP 26, but oh, that's gorgeous. This is really, really pretty. I love it. I love it so much. Anyways, hi. So, what is baseball? Baseball is, in a lot of ways, maybe the most American sport that there is. I'm going to turn up the audio just a hair so you can actually hear the crowd noise. There you go. So, baseball was invented sometime in the mid-19th century. According to lore, although it's not necessarily accurate, the person who invented it was a Civil War general named Abner Doubleday. In reality, it derives from the English game Rounders. And there's a little bit of cricket in there, but if you don't know either sport, you'll still be completely fine. What you're looking at is called the baseball diamond. Why is it called a diamond? Because it's, well, a diamond. Just like that. Baseball is played by two teams of 9 people at a time. There's larger rosters than that for injury replacements, people needing a break or whatever, but that's how it is. It's 9 people on a side. I think the best way to start teaching you about how the game works is to go over the basic rules, and then we'll start actually playing the game. I need one additional thing, however. Give me my widget. I crave a widget. No. I will choose my own widgets, thank you very much. Yeah, there we go. That's the good stuff right there. That's what we live for. Okay. Yes, that's beautiful. That's exactly correct. Okay, so the basics of baseball. The most important thing to know about baseball to begin with is that it is a game of 27 outs per side. What is an out? An out is what happens if you either fail to hit the ball after 3 consecutive swings. They don't have to be consecutive. But if you swing at the ball and miss 3 times, you're out. That's why it's called strike 3, you're out. Or if you hit the ball into play and a player from the other team catches it, you are also out. That is the clock of baseball. That is how baseball works. You get to keep going until you get those 3 outs in an inning. There's 9 innings in a normal game, thus 27 outs per side. Let's start with the center of the diamond. Mr. Kyle Hendricks here, looking very dapper today. Kyle Hendricks is the pitcher of the starting pitcher of the Chicago Cubs. His job is to throw the ball to Rajai Davis, our player at the plate today, and get him to not basically hit the ball where everyone else isn't. That's a little bit confusing. What I mean is, if Kyle Hendricks throws a pitch, throws the ball, throws the baseball, um, and Rajai Davis hits it, one of two things could happen. Well, one of three things could happen. The first thing that could happen is he hits the ball and nobody catches it. As long as between these two white lines, which are called foul territory, everything outside of these white lines here is foul territory. So we hit the ball here, for example, that's a foul ball. It doesn't count. But as long as he hits it within this triangle and nobody catches it, he's gotten a hit. So, and then he gets to run to first base and other things will happen, but that's the core of baseball. The pitcher throws the ball and the hitter tries to hit it. If the hitter does hit it and nobody catches it, then generally speaking, good things happen. Okay, let's talk more about the field itself. We talked about fair territory, which is everything inside these white lines, and we talked about foul territory. Any ball hit in foul territory counts as a strike, but not an out. Unless somebody catches it while it's there. Basically, if you catch the ball anywhere in the field, it's an out. If you hit it into fair territory, let's break this down a little bit. First, we have the infield, which is this area in dirt out to home plate, which is right here. You can't see because the catcher's head's in the way, but with a different camera angle, you can see it. That's the infield. Everything about past that is the outfield. I know, right? Easy to understand. The key about the infield and the outfield is where you position the defenders. So in this first inning, the Cubs are pitching and the Guardians are hitting. So the Guardians have one player on the diamond, which is Rajai Davis here, the left fielder. Kyle Hendricks has a whole team behind him. So let's talk about each position on the diamond. We've already talked about the pitcher. The pitcher's job is to throw the baseball so that he either can't hit it or he does hit it and somebody catches it. If he doesn't swing at it, what happens to the ball? The catcher catches it. But it's more to it than that. The catcher is also the person for most teams that tells the pitcher what kind of pitch to throw. And we'll get into that here when we actually start playing the game. Just so that's the other job of the catcher. The third job of the catcher is that somebody tries to run when they're not supposed to, he throws them out. And we'll talk about that later. It's called a stolen base. Okay. Pitcher throws the ball, catcher catches it, catcher tells the pitcher what ball to throw. That's these two gentlemen here, Kyle Hendricks and Wilson Contreras. At first base, we have Anthony Rizzo. This is first base right here. It's a little canvas bag. I think there might be sand in it. I don't remember what's on the inside of a base. I might just be canvas. This is the first place you have to run when you hit the ball successfully. So if Rajai Davis hit the ball and nobody caught it, he would first come to here, and then he could keep going or he could stop as he wants, but he has to touch that base. That's first base. Anthony Rizzo's job is generally to pick up the ball when somebody else throws it and step on the bag to get Rajai Davis out. This is called a force out. Because they have to touch the base runner to do it. That is his job. The other thing the first baseman often has to do is he might have to run inward, grab the ball, and throw it over to the pitcher who'll be running over to cover first base to get the force out. Okay. That is his job. And he's very good at his job according to OTP. He's got a 70 defense. Baseball numbers go from 20 to 80. So 80 is as good as it gets. 20 is pretty terrible. 20 is a bad thing. Okay. That's Anthony Rizzo's job. His job when he's out on the field is to either catch the ball when somebody throws it at him, or scoop it up and flip it over to somebody else that covers first base because the ball pulls him out of position. We also have the second baseman, Javier Baez. the shortstop Addison Russell, and the third baseman Chris Bryant. They'll kind of do the same thing as Rizzo, but whereas he's mostly about catching the ball, they're mostly about throwing the ball and also catching it. It's way more important to be good at throwing the ball at these other positions, more so than the catcher. This is second base. You will notice the second baseman does not play very close to second base. That's intentional. Because most baseballs that are hit well are hit like on a direct line toward the second baseman or toward the shortstop. These guys need to be very, very quick, very nimble, and have great reaction time so they can snag that ball out of the air. And stop the heroic Cleveland Guardians. For those who haven't caught the channel before, I'm actually originally from Cleveland. This is my favorite team. Stop the heroic Guardians from scoring runs. Okay. Chris Bryant's the third baseman. There's third base. Shortstop is between second and third. This is the infield, and that's how that works. There's lots of other little rules that we'll get into as they come up, but that's the heart and soul of the infield. Let's talk about outfielders now. Outfielders do the exact same thing, but they've got way more ground to cover. We have right field, center field, and left field. This is based on the catcher's perspective. So the catcher's right hand is right here. That's why it's called right field. Left field, and then center field. According to the rules of the game, these guys can stand anywhere they want to. As long as all three of them are in the outfield and they're in fair territory. Now, there's probably a thing about baseball you've heard a lot about, which is called the home run. What's the home run? Very simple. If Mr. Davis here hits the ball and it goes over this back wall, that's a home run. He automatically scores a run. Anybody that's already on base when he does so also scores. There's nothing the other team can do about it, except grit their teeth and face the next player. Maybe ask yourself, where's the rest of Cleveland's team? They're in what's called the dugout, which is this area right here. There's one for the home team and one for the away team. I don't know this park's dimensions that well. I don't know which side it actually should be, but one of them is for the away team, which in this case is Cleveland, because this game's technically based in Chicago. Okay, so their 9 players are all waiting for their turn to hit. So the first guy up, this is called the leadoff hitter, because he leads off the game, is Rajai Davis. He's the first guy up there. That's his job. His job is to try to either hit the ball, over the fence would be delightful, but if he can't do that, and it's really fucking hard, instead he's just trying to get the ball somewhere where they can't catch it, or they pick it up off the ground and throw it, but he's already gotten to a base safely. Okay. That's the heart and soul of baseball. That's the essence of the game in its purest form. It's, in this circumstance, the Cubs do not want the Guardians to get on base. They don't want them to hit the ball. They want only bad things to happen. However, one additional thing we talk about, which is walks. We don't want to make things too easy for the pitcher. Otherwise, he could just constantly throw the ball wherever he wants to, and Rajai Davis couldn't hit it. This is what's something called the strike zone. The strike zone is this yellow box here. So picture for a moment that this is the batter here, this yellow stick, and this is the strike zone. Any pitch that crosses that part of the area above home plate is called a strike within this yellow box. If it's outside that yellow box, it's called a ball. You can only throw 4 balls per batter, at which point they're just given first base for free. So this is why it is essential for great pitchers to be able to control their pitches. They need to be able to throw the ball where they want to throw it, when they want to throw it, if they're going to be a good pitcher. Now, there's a little wiggle room there. There's an issue that umpires are humans, and humans make mistakes, so it's actually possible to trick the umpire. This is called framing, where the catcher is like, oh no, this ball isn't a ball, it is a strike, and lets you move the ball. I hope the umpire doesn't catch it. It's very strange. Institutionalized cheating is just part of baseball, but it is a thing that happens, so I think we've seen enough of me yammering. Let's actually play through the game. So, if you're playing a game of Out of the Park Baseball 26, we're going to talk a little bit about the game now. You have a series of buttons here that tells your player what to do. This is not like the kind of baseball game like you may have played MLB The Show. You may have played MLB 2K Sports. If you're an old timer like me, High Heat or Triple Play. You aren't controlling the players. You're just telling the player what to do. So I have three choices here with Mr. Rajai Davis. I could tell him, swing at the pitch. If you think the pitch is a strike, swing at it. This then requires this computer player to make a decision based on his skills in the game, based on his abilities. Second choice is take pitch, which is no matter what, don't swing the bat. We want them to try to get me to walk. I want to try to get on base because good things happen when you get on base. Or I could tell him to bunt. Bunting is a very odd way to hit. Normally, you would hit the ball just like he's standing right now. You would swing the bat as hard as you can at the right time to make the ball go really far. If you take your hand and place it at the barrel, the end of the bat, it's a little bit fatter than the rest of the bat. You can try to just kind of like push the bat at the ball. Instead of making the ball go really, really far, it just dies. Ideally, you want the ball to end up like right here. And that is bunting. If we look at our abilities here, he's not very good at bunting. We can tell he's got a 25 out of 80. That's really bad. He doesn't have a great eye, which means he's not very good at taking walks either. We're just going to let him swing away. We're going to tell him to do what he wants to do. We'll go from there. We get some camera stuff here. Camera makes you a little bit dizzy. Sorry. Okay. The hometown crowd is very happy about that. Let's turn that down a bit. And we're actually going to look at that as a replay. Because a lot of stuff just happened right there. You may be like, what the fuck? There you go. That's way too loud. Okay. So let's watch the replay. Which is... It's not more. It's options. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to run... we're going to replay it. Okay, so what happened here? So Rogers is going to swing at this pitch. The ball goes over to Chris Bryant at third base, who throws the ball over to first. Because he threw the ball to first before Rajai Davis reached first, Rajai Davis is out. But that's not all that happened there. There's a couple of things we need to keep track of here. You'll notice that it said that was a 2-2 pitch because you have up to 4 balls and up to 3 strikes to do something with it. In this particular instance, if we look at the at-bat, he took 2 balls, which you can see here. He fouled off the third pitch. And then the fourth thing he did is he thought maybe this one isn't a strike, but it was. The umpire said it was. That's what the pitch was called a strike. And lastly, he took his swing. This is a good chance to tell you that there's many different ways to throw a baseball. Our pitcher here used 3 different kinds of pitches. Now, if I had a camera on, I could actually show you what a grip looks like, but it doesn't matter for our purposes. It just matters what the baseball does. A fastball is a ball that goes, well, fast. Basically, the pitcher takes the ball, throws it as hard as he can to a specific spot. Here's an example here. 89 miles an hour. For those of you that happen to be European, 89 miles an hour is pretty fast. It is faster than you can legally drive a car in most of the United States. Or I think the rest of the world. So he just threw that ball as hard as he could at that general area and hoped for the best. It's not hope for the best, but that's how he is. Here's a part that's a real mindfuck. 89 miles an hour is slow for a fastball. Let me repeat that. That is a slow pitch. That's how fast Major League Baseball goes. The 89 miles an hour is slow. It's like really, really slow. It's borderline, I don't want you pitching for me anymore slow. Unless you're really good at it with other pitches. So you take the ball, throw it as hard as you can. The ball goes mostly straight. It might go up a little bit. It might go down a little bit. But for the most part, it just goes straight. And either hit it or they don't. That's a fastball. A curveball is very different. Curveballs come in many different shapes and sizes, but the point is they start somewhere up in the zone and end up down in the zone. The ball curves. It kind of goes like that. That's what a good curveball looks like. Notice how much slower it is than the fastball. The key to pitching in Major League Baseball is making sure that everything looks like a fastball until it isn't. So let's say, okay, I've watched this hitter before. Maybe I've watched the pitcher before. I've watched a lot of videotape. I know this is what his fastballs look like, so I know how to time this pitch. This is happening over fractions of a second. Truly incredible athletes. Even the worst of them. So that's what this hitter is doing. So Jose Ramirez is thinking, okay, I want to hit this ball as hard as I can. I want to figure out where it's going, and I want to time it so that it goes exactly where I want it to go. So he's sitting there thinking fastball, and he swings the bat perfectly. He's like, oh my god, I got it. It's perfect. Oh shit. That ball is way slower, and instead of coming in straight, it has dropped. Maybe 5 to 6 inches. Maybe even a foot if it's a really good curveball. So what happens is you swing really soon, really off balance, and you look ridiculous. That is a curveball. It is a ball, wait for it, that curves. The third kind of pitch he threw during his at-bat was a changeup. An at-bat, by the way, is one complete time that a hitter comes to home plate and either gets on base or gets out. That's an at-bat. A changeup is a lot like a curveball, but it's a little bit harder and it doesn't move as much. But it's still significantly slower than a fastball. 15 miles an hour difference. That's pretty crazy. So, a victory for the bad guys. Boo, hiss, boo. Here's the ball indicator up here. 3 balls, 4th is a walk. Strike indicator, 2 strikes, 3rd is an out. And then how many outs in the inning? Total of 2 outs. 3rd one is an out. Switching to pitch by pitch, we're going to take a little bit slower so you can actually see what an at-bat looks like. So, now Jose Ramirez is a really good hitter. In modern day baseball, he's one of the best in the game. So we're going to go ahead and we trust Jose. We're like, Jose, hit this jerk. Do what you want. And Jose takes a ball. So you can see here, the ball came very close to the strike zone, but Jose's like, miss me with that bullshit. Because a changeup, he is now what is called ahead in the count. If there are more balls than strikes, you're ahead in the count. You get to then decide what to do here. Again, I trust Jose. Do your worst, my friend. Inside corner for a strike, and as you can see here, a really well-placed fastball right on his hands. Very, very difficult. Jose Ramirez is a special kind of hitter. He's what's called a switch hitter. A switch hitter is somebody that can either bat left-handed or right-handed, does so against the opposite-handed pitcher. Because you get more time to see the ball, and it's easier to pull the ball that is hit it over here for a home run. Most hitters are one side or the other, but Jose Ramirez is one of those few that actually can do both. So he's batting left-handed, but he could bat right-handed if he wanted to. All right, Jose. So you got to count as even here. We got 1-1 count. Swing away. Let's make some noise here. Ooh, he got tricked there really badly. You see how quickly the pitch came and how quickly he swung and how slow the pitch came. He got bamboozled. That's illegal. I'm sorry. That's mean. That's cruel. That's exactly what it looks like in real life, but it can be even funnier because I've seen hitters like fall on their butts because they swing too hard. So now we're in real trouble. We're now behind the count. If Jose swings the bat one more time and doesn't make a connection, he's out. He strikes out. Let's hope that doesn't happen, but we leave it up to him and our judgment. Oh, that's very nice. Beans. So we hit that ball really, really hard, but it was right at Jason Hayward out there in right field, so he just kind of reached up and catched the ball. As long as the ball doesn't hit the ground, you're out. So we call that a loud out. Doesn't mean anything, but it wasn't out. Tyler Naquin is up. Tyler Naquin is a center fielder, so if the sides were switched, he would be out in center field where Dexter Fowler is. So we got to make something happen, guys. He's gone through 2/3 of an inning and hasn't allowed a single hit. That is what we call very bad. Wow. He overtimed the fastball. That's crazy. 92 miles an hour is pretty wild, though. That's for him is a pretty fast fastball. Way off the plate. Should never have swung at it, but he did. Let's use your best judgment. Wow. He cannot time that fastball. He's just getting dominated. I don't know where Kyle Hendricks is getting this from, but he's definitely throwing a lot harder now. This is looking very bad for the good guys. And yeah, he just looked ridiculous. Every pitch, a fastball, and he just couldn't catch up to it. Okay. So the top half of the first inning is now over. And the Guardians did nothing, which is a womp-womp moment. Okay, this is interesting. You'll notice something has changed here. The position of the players has changed. This is called a shift. This is what... Actually, no, they're not shifting. Never mind. They're at normal distances. They're just different because of their positioning here. That actually reminds me, though. I do want to set that up really quickly here. Defensive strategy the AI can do. Because I don't want to bother with it. Okay, what does shifting mean? Shifting is moving players outside of the normal positions because you know a hitter's tendencies. Really good power hitters tend to pull the ball. They tend to hit it like, if you're left-handed like Dexter Fowler, you tend to hit in this area. So it should you move the players over to that side. In the current baseball environment in real life, there's rules about where and when you can shift. This is 2016. This is not quite 10 years ago. They can go where the fuck they want, which can be pretty crazy. So, as a pitcher now, we have a few choices here. First, we can choose to pitch to the batter. This is throw the ball as best you can and hope for the best. Next, I pitch around. This is I want you to pitch toward the edge of this yellow box. If you throw a ball, that's okay. If you throw a strike, that's okay. But don't get it in the center of the zone where you can really hit the ball really hard. Next, I pitch to contact. This is I actually want you to throw the ball such a way that the hitter can hit it because I know he's not very good, and that way we can get him out very quickly. You do this with the weaker hitters, or the ones that don't play very well. We have the intentional walk, which is where you say, I don't want to face you. You're too scary. You're way too dangerous. I'd rather just put you on first base or feed than let you try to hit the ball and maybe hit a home run. Then there's hit the batter. This is throw the ball and hit the batter. Like somewhere on his body. That automatically gives him first base. You may ask yourself, why should you do this? Why is this a good thing? I'm not going to get into why. I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to get into it because there's a lot of people that have very strong opinions of when you're supposed to throw the ball to hit somebody. The correct answer is never, but it does happen by accident. But there's psychological reasons you might throw at a batter, just to screw with his head, essentially. Lastly is visiting the mound. In this case, you send the coach out there to talk to the pitcher when he's on the pitching mound, which is this brown area up here. And you say, hey, Klubot, because that's his nickname. Corey Kluber's nickname is Klubot. Hey, Klubot, what's going on? And then they have a little bit of a chat, and maybe they pitch a little bit better. So, what does Corey Kluber have in his arsenal? Well, let's take a look at the game itself. Corey Kluber throws 4 kinds of pitches. 2 of them we've already talked about, the fastball and the changeup. He also throws a slider. Remember how I said curveballs break from top to bottom? Sliders break from side to side, and they're harder than curveballs. So, in this case, your goal isn't to get the hitter to swing on top of it or beat the ball into the ground. The ball moves quick enough that instead of getting hit on the fat part of the bat and being really scary, it hits closer to the handle and it doesn't do near as much damage. A cutter is just a really hard, really fast slider. It's basically a fastball with a lot more movement that moves in on lefties or out on righties. So in this case, if he threw a cutter, it would try to break in on Dexter Fowler's hands, so he couldn't extend the bat and get the maximum amount of power. That's what Corey Kluber is rocking today. Corey, my guy, do as you will. Fastball for a strike. Notice he throws harder. That is a beautiful spot. Let me tell you why it's a beautiful shot. If somehow Dexter Fowler had made contact with it, because of where the ball is situated, he likely would have hit it really weakly or right at somebody. It would have been a very easy pitch to field. That is, grab off the ground and then throw to get somebody out. Let's just do that again. Cutter down and in. Ooh, I don't know about this one, guys. I think this is probably a strike. But whatever reason, our umpire and in the game, the umpire doesn't always call the right pitch every time. In this case, he says, nope, that's a ball. We're at 1-1. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Go after him, Klubot. Okay. Notice the catcher moved, by the way. And the fastball missed inside. So, it looks bad right now. We're down 2-1 against this hitter. Let me reassure you, he's pitching exceptionally well. These are just pitches that are not getting called as strikes. He could very well have struck him out already. But that's the game. That's how baseball works. Come on, Kluber. There we go. A nice, easy ball for the left fielder. And he got it. Oh, went foul. Okay. Well, all right. So basically, what happens is it hit the stands right here, but it was past the fair line, or the foul lines. So it actually ended up being a foul ball. So that was just a really, really loud second strike. You can foul the ball as many times as you want to. It doesn't get you your third strike. It can only give you up to 2. Let's throw again. Let's get him out. Another foul ball. I rolled foul, and then it mysteriously stopped for no reason. That's physics, I guess. He is making Kluber work, which is not great. We don't want him to be trying this hard to strike people out, but, you know, it is what it is. The ball is inside. This is a really good, what we call pitcher's duel. This is a pitcher and a hitter both struggling to do the best they can. Dexterville has not gotten a piece of any of these pitches, not a real piece. But he also isn't striking out, which is really, really bad. And it really makes sense. Look at his batting eye. This is a guy who knows when to swing and when not to swing. Let's get him out, buddy. Let's strike this jerk out. Another foul ball. Damn. When will this at bat end? Maybe never. Ah, damn it. So went past the third baseman, which means nobody caught it, and that is our first hit of the game. That is called a single because he went one base. This now adds an extra dimension to the game. At any time, our friend Dexter Fowler can run and try to get to second base. Just take off and run. This is called stealing a base. Either the catcher catches it and throws the ball to try to get him out, or you can do what's called a pickoff move. What's going to happen is Corey Kluber right now is going to turn around and throw the ball over to first base. Basically hoping that Dexter Fowler isn't paying attention, and we can get him out of first base. Let's see if we're successful. Nope, no good. That still has an advantage, though. That keeps the hitter from taking a big lead, so that it won't be as easy for him to steal. He is pretty fast, so we want to be careful about that. So let's go ahead and pitch to just throw the ball away. 1-0. He is struggling. My boy here is struggling. Okay. Cutter misses outside. He is living dangerously. This is very, very bad. When pitchers constantly fall behind the count like this, very bad things are going to happen. Because they have to really try really hard to get the ball in the strike zone, or they throw something that's right and down the middle here that just gets obliterated. It's not a great start. Okay, we finally got a strike. Finally. Come on. What we're hoping for is what's called a double play. A double play is when you get 2 batters out and 1 at bat. Here's how that would work. If Javier Baez here hit the ball to Francisco Lindor, our shortstop, he could throw the ball to second base when the second baseman covers it. That's out number 1. Because batters can't go backwards, that would get Dexter Fowler out. If then Jason Kipnis threw the ball to Carlos Santana, that would be a second out, thus making the double play. Let's hope that's what happens here. Nope. That is what we call a seeing eye single. That ball wasn't hit very hard, but nobody could get to it. And thus, we have runners on first and second with nobody out. This is extremely bad. Now, I'm going to drop a little baseball strategy on you. Anthony Rizzo is a left-handed hitter. How do I know that? Because it has the letter L next to his name. Not because he's a loser, although maybe he's that too. Because Corey Kluber is right-handed, he has a bit of a weakness against left-handed hitters. I would much rather Chris Bryant hit the ball than Anthony Rizzo hit it right now. So I'm not going to walk him to put him on base. I'm going to have him pitch to contact. I want Chris Bryant to hit this damn ball and ground out. That's what I want. Let's see if Kluber can make it happen. Ball was in the dirt. That's very poopy. Ooh. Okay, check swing. If we... Can I watch that? See how he started swinging and then stopped? That's called a checked swing. If the first base umpire would be standing right here if he existed, says he went too far, he broke the plane of the home plate, then that's a strike. In this case, it said, nope, he held up at the last minute, so it's not a strike. We're in very bad trouble right now. We need something good to happen to us right now. That, my friends, is a double play, just like you drew it up here. That was perfectly timed. Also called a twin killing. That was brilliant. That was really, really good. Now, we do have a runner on third. If he gets to home plate, he scores the game's first run. I am in a much better situation now. With 2 outs. Now what I'm going to do is... So first of all, Corey Kluber is throwing way too many pitches. 15 pitches for 1 inning is a crazy amount. I do not want Anthony Rizzo to hit a home run. Or even get the ball at all if I can avoid it. We're going to tell him to pitch around. If we walk him, that's okay. But I don't want you to groove something that he can easily destroy. That's fine. Keep going, Kluber. Oh, dear. Is that foul? Oh, my. Yeah, it went into the stands right here. Okay, there's a wall there. Look, the graphics aren't always the best. But that's what happened right there. That counts as a strike. Let's keep it going. Another strike. All right, now we're cooking. I didn't talk about pitching out. Pitching out is you just throw the ball directly to the catcher. You don't want the batter to swing at it. It's instead of what it stops one from stealing. Let's throw over to third, by the way. Let's just keep him on his toes. Okay. Now I trust you. Pitch however you want to pitch. Nice. Oh, he got a piece of it. That's called a foul tip. He got just enough of the pitch that his bat hit it, which means it's not a strikeout. It's just another foul ball. Slider inside. Yeah. He is really close to the strike zone. He's just a little bit off for some reason tonight. Hit this ball very, very high. Jason Kipnis snags it out of the air. Easy peasy. Inning over. Whew. We did it. We did it. No runs for the Cubs. That's mean. Okay. I'm going to let the game go a little bit faster now. I think you've seen enough baseball to get a sense of how it works. I'm going to turn off pitch by pitch. It's just going to do an entire at-bat if I hit the button one time. Let's say take pitch. Actually, let's talk a bit of strategy here. Corey Kluber threw way more pitches that inning than Kyle Hendricks did the previous inning. We want to make him work. I'm going to tell Carlos Santana, take the pitch. I don't care where this damn pitch is. Oh, that's a really good pitch to hit. Oh, well. We're going to take pitches. We're going to try to just make him throw as many balls as possible. And, of course, he's on his game. And we strike out. Well, fuck. That was a bad pitch, but that was oh so nice. That was a beautiful pitch. The pitch looks like a strike, and then it tumbles out of the zone. No chance. Carlos Santana has to take a seat. Jason Kipnis, please, I beg of you. So he walked him. Okay, so we didn't see the whole at bat. We just saw him. This is definitely a much harder at bat for him. Look at this. Two of his pitches are nowhere near the strike zone. 4 could have been a strike. Our friend Couch has thrown a new pitch today. He's thrown a sinker. Remember how I said a cutter is a fastball, but it's thrown harder and it cuts in? A sinker, wait for it, sinks. A sinker is supposed to drop. But it doesn't drop nearly as much as a curveball. The idea is when you would normally hit the ball squarely, the ball goes just under the bat, so you either just barely clip it, or you strike out. You're not going to look ridiculous, but it's definitely not a great idea. Okay. We got Francisco Lindor up at the plate. We got Jason Kipnis, who's a really good base stealer, at second. Let's fucking go. We could tell him to steal. We could do what's called a hit and run or a hit, run, and hit, which is where the hitter swings at the exact same time as the base runner runs, hoping that you either get a really easy hit or you get a really stolen base, or both. I'm not going to mess with that. It's too early in the game to be playing that kind of tactics. That is an out and foul territory. That is poopy. We don't love that. Lonnie Chisenhall, please, I beg of you. We have no hit so far. Jason Gibbs is only on first base because of a walk. Nope. Right at Chris Bryant. Barely even difficult. Man. Okay. 21 pitches to get through an inning is a lot of pitches. This inning has to go faster if we're going to be able to get the most out of Corey Kluber. Come on, my friend. All right. Right to second baseman. Throws the ball out. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. But look at how wild all of his pitches are going. He is still being made to work for every out, which is really, really bad. You only got so many pitches per game. We want it to be easy, and that just bounced right past the second baseman. That is lame. All right, come on, let's get Addison Russell to bounce another ground ball double play. We hit him! Oops. Well, shit. We have runners on first and second. There's only one out. This is what we call not good. We have an ace in the hole, though. The hitter coming up is actually the pitcher, Kyle Hendricks. Because this is a National League park before the National League adopted what's called the designated hitter. Don't worry about it right now. But note that the pitcher has to hit at this point in baseball history. A weak little ground ball right in front of the catcher. Couldn't get anybody out. The now we call... Wait, what happened? Oh, he did get the runner at second out. Okay, thank you, Roberto Perez. Okay. Pitch to contact. He is a pitcher. Look how bad he is at hitting. We don't want this guy walking. Just make him put the bat on the ball, and he'll get a single up the middle and score a run. And he even hit it hard enough for Jason Hayward to make it over to third base. That's gross. Man. That was a double. He ended up on second base. How lame. Oh, we got him out, but that's... Yikes. Alright. Corey Kluber is badly struggling. He's not his normal self. Corey Kluber was actually one of the best pitchers in the American League this year. But in this game, anything can happen in a baseball game. So, it's time to start thinking about maybe bringing somebody else in, but it's too early in the game. We're going to give him at least one more inning to see what he can do. All right. A strikeout of Roberto Perez, our catcher. Now Corey Kluber gets to swing. That's what I expected to happen when we faced Kyle Hendricks, but Corey Kluber is a bit more traditional. Rajai Davis, please, somebody, anybody, hit the ball hard. That's not hitting the ball hard. It's hitting the ball very high. That's called a pop fly, by the way. If the ball goes like straight up in the air instead of going out, we call it a pop fly. Man, this is some bullshit. 42 pitches in 2 innings. You got to start getting people out a lot faster. I'll just settle for getting people out, though. Lindor tried to snag that one out of the air, but nope. All these are little dinky hits are just dropping right in front of people. That's really frustrating. Throw over to first, please. Don't want to steal base. Don't want to steal home. Or steal second, rather. Look at this shit. Every single one of these damn base hits they're getting are, like, weak sauce. But it's good enough. Like, it doesn't matter whether you hit a home run or you hit 4 singles. It still results in the same amount of runs. This is really, really bad. Kluber is pitching very poorly. Part of it is bad luck, but part of it is also he's just not pitching very well. I need you to get through this, buddy. You know what? A double play is a pretty nice start. I wish you didn't allow the 2 outs to begin, the 2 base runners to begin with, but whatever. And we struck him out. Okay, we did it. Got out of the inning. That is a really interesting pitch he didn't swing at. Had he swung at that, he might have done a lot of damage. But I will take the dub. Let's try to get on base, guys. Man. We're making him work for it. Like, he's pitching a lot of pitches. We're just not able to get a piece of his stuff and really drive the ball. Wow, that changeup made him look ridiculous. Guys, Kyle Hendricks is on top of his shit this game. We are making him work his 54 pitches. That's not bad. But... damn it. Alright. Kluber, I need this to be a flawless inning. I can't take you out of the game yet. So we do have a total of 25 men on our roster. 25 players. This includes other pitchers and other backups in case somebody gets hurt or just needs a break. So the best time to take Kluber out of the game would actually be next inning. So let's see if we can get Kluber to be his old self. No, we can't. Okay, it's an out. I'll take it. Yeah, look how wide and all over the place he is. He is badly struggling. We're going to go talk to him on the mound. It may not make a difference, but okay. He says he's perfectly fine. I don't know that I believe him, but okay. Nope, right past the third baseman. That's going to be a double. He's going to end up on second at least. Not even a doubt. All right, that was an easy out. That's pretty good. I'm tempted to throw the ball at Kyle Hendricks and hit him with it. I'm not going to do it, but that would be funny if we did. Nice, we got him. We did it, gamers. We did it. All right. If we get a base hit, I'm going to start warming somebody up. This is called a bullpen. We want to pick a pitcher that's just going to start getting warm and be ready to go. We're going to start warming up because it's still early in the game. I'm going to start warming up probably Zach McAllister. So what's Zach McAllister's deal? He's not as good as Corey Kluber. He throws a fastball, curveball, cutter, about 92 to 94. He also did do a couple starts for the Guardians this season, which means I know that he can... which means that I know that he can go a little bit extra if we need to. He can probably give us 2 or 3 innings if we need him to. Alright, come on, Kipnis. Let's go. There we are! A base hit. That's good baseballing right there, boys. That's baseball to the max. Come on, Lindor, let's keep it... No, let's get tricky here. We're going to hit and run. Let's get him as Lindor's going to swing at the pitch no matter what, and Kipnis is going to try to steal second base. Let's see how this works out for us. Ooh, he figured me out. He threw a pickoff through instead. Try one more time. Well, we avoided the double play. That's something. So that means that Lindor ends up on second. Or Kipnis ends up on second, excuse me. Lonnie Chisenhall hit this baseball. If you want to draw a walk, draw a walk. That's fine with me. Roberto Perez hit this ball real hard now. That's not hitting the ball real hard at all. That's getting out. God damn it. Hug. I need you to throw the fifth inning. I'm going to tell you why. I don't want Corey Kluber to hit next inning. But if I put McAllister in the game now, then I have to take him out of the game when I use a pinch hitter. Which is somebody that I take off the bench and have him hit instead of the pitcher. So we're gonna muddle through, at least for right now. Damn it. This is not the inning to give up a hit. There's never a good inning to give up a hit, though. That's fair. But Javi Baez, we've gotten a lot of double plays this game, which is really, really good for us. It's the only thing that's really keeping us in it. There we go. Strikes out, swing and miss. This is not a great performance by Corey Kluber, but his night is over. Now we're going to do a substitution. I'm going to bring in a pinch hitter. Somebody who is really good at hitting, who's going to come in because he's better at hitting than Corey Kluber, which is not very difficult. Corey Kluber is not a very good hitter. Mike Napoli, get up to the plate. I am now required to replace Corey Kluber. He can no longer pitch, which is fine. Let's also go ahead and get Dan Otero warming up too, just in case. All right, return to game. Now Mike Napoli, who's a much better hitter than Corey Kluber, although that's not saying much. He's gonna go up and hit for Corey Kluber. Hit the ball real good. Party Annapolis is what they said at the time, and he struck out. That was not a strike. This is a great example of framing. So what happened in the game is he threw the ball. It was going to be a ball, but Wilson Contreras moved his glove, so it looked like it was a strike. Very well played. I'm not upset, but I very much would have liked to have seen us get a nice hit there. That's an out. I want to see the super stats replay because it'll tell us what the exit velocity was. Okay. So this is some advanced analytics stuff here. This is some really good things to know about when you get more involved in the game. What is exit velocity? Exit velocity is how fast the ball is coming off of the bat. It says 95 miles an hour. Launch angle is, so imagine that the hitter is it's the angle relative to the ground, basically. So if we drew like a line like right here, 17-degree angle above it would be the trajectory that the ball took. Also, it's called a line out, which is fine. And also, this is a 2-star catch, which means it wasn't that difficult, but it was pretty hard. 95 miles an hour is a pretty hard pitch. So it might have been hard to handle, but in any event, he did it. Come on. A crumb of offense, I beg you. Now watch, that ball's going to have a really bad launch angle. So let's look at that. Yes, we'll deal with it here in a second. I need to bring in a pitcher. So we're going to go ahead and bring in Dan Otero to pitch. Like so, and then he will bat ninth. So we'll want to replace him before he hits it. Anyway. So we're going to notice if we do the replay here, that was going to be a very low launch angle. -4 degrees because he hit the ball into the ground. So it was hit kind of hard. The launch angle was so shallow that it didn't do anything. Which is kind of poopy. Alright, Dan Otero, let's deal with Anthony Rizzo and friends. Maybe they're not friends. Maybe they'll hate each other. I don't know. And he immediately gives up a walk. That's gross. Don't do that. Slider, sinker, changeup. Does he throw anything else? And he also throws regular fastball. His pitches aren't that good. What Dan Otero is really good at is he's really good at keeping the ball down. He's good at getting ground balls, and he's good at throwing the pitch where he wants it to go. But his pitches themselves aren't anything special. And another walk. Oh my. Anybody, please. Thank you, Ben Zobrist. Thank you. Your check is in the mail. Guys, we have been the masters of the double plays this time. We have just dominated. Every time someone gets on base, we've got him to ground to double plays. That's huge. Dan Otero is pitching really poorly. It is the 7th inning. We're going to do what the actual Guardians did at this time. We're going to start up Andrew Miller. Andrew Miller is a really, really good relief pitcher, and it's a big reason why the Guardians even got to the World Series that year. And another out. We're not getting anywhere if we don't... Oh my god, Tyler Naquin, this is ridiculously stupid. This is a bad decision. He should have not swung the ball at all. He should have just used his judgment, taken that first pitch as a strike, and then seen where we got to from there. But that's not what happened there. So we are hurting. Curveball strikes? Really? I mean, that was not a fucking strike, man. What the hell? And struck out. I mean, Kyle Hendricks is dominating. Like, we're not going to listen to the 7th inning stretch. That's where everyone sings the song, Taking That to the Bowl Game. We're not going to do that here. We are instead going to put in Andrew Miller and try to, like, mess these guys up. I mean, that'll work. It's not what I was hoping for, but I'll take it. We'll look at Andrew Miller's abilities here. 3 amazing pitches, fastball, sinker, slider. Oh, I guess it is 20 to 100. It's not 20 to 90 at this place is configured. Amazing control means he throws the ball where he wants to, and he's really good at striking people out. That's what we're looking for here. I mean, granted, the pitcher is up, so it shouldn't be that hard to strike him out. Yeah, this is criminal. So this pitch, the way it was, the way this slider was thrown, first of all, a 98-mile-an-hour sinker is ridiculous. This barely hit the strike zone. That's called painting the corners. This pitch went the absolute perfect place to go. Not perfect. Sinker shouldn't be that high, ideally. But I like where his head was at, and it got the job done. Let's end it. Right now. Let's go. Nope. What's the launch angle now? That had to be a pretty close to a negative launch angle. Just 4 degrees. He got just enough of it, and our shortstop was playing a little bit too far over, I think. Oh, well. We hit Javi Baez. Oh, no, it's called a passed ball. What that means is, instead of the catcher catching it, it rolled past him, which means that's a live ball. The base runners can keep going if they want to. So basically, it's like he stole the base, essentially, which is mean. It's rude. I don't appreciate that. Oh, no, that's another run. Yeah, fuck. That was a good pitch. That was a good pitch. It just got hit, which was very poopy. But okay. No. We ended it, I guess. We've been exceptionally poorly lucky as far as like scoring runs is concerned, but Kyle is just fucking dealing, man. That just happens sometimes, you know? Sometimes, no matter how hard you try, you just can't hit the ball. And that's what's happening today. We've gotten a single hit against him, and I think a couple of walks. Gross. All right, we got some luck there. We're getting ourselves at least a double. Oh no, he's trapped in the wall. Little video game stuff there. That's something. I don't know what it is, but it's something. Now, the really crappy part is Andrew Miller is actually pitching quite well. I don't want to pull him out of the game yet, but I think I have to. We're going to go ahead and start warming up Ryan Merritt. We get this weak last little ground ball, and he's out to first. God damn it. We have to bring in somebody else. I can't let Andrew Miller swing this bat right now. We need someone who's a better hitter. We don't really have one, though, is the problem. None of our guys have good contact that are eligible. I guess you could try Brandon Guyer. That's fine. Brandon Guyer's a little bit better when he faces left-handed pitching, but we can try him here. This is not great. Oh my god, you look like a moron! Yes, yes. Ryan Merritt's got to come into the game and pitch. Ugh. This is not going well. This is about as... Well, I mean, it could also be going a lot worse. Like, we've gotten a lot of luck with ground balls, which is nice. But I'd rather we just don't let them get to hits at all. If I could have my choice. Ooh, hit just too slowly. If that ball had been hit a little bit harder, that would have been another easy double play. As it was, it just hit too slowly. We look at its exit velocity, it's going to be really low. 76 miles an hour. Exit velocity was actually less than the pitch was. So deadened the ball enough to get him up to second base. That's gross. Can you stop? Can you just stop hitting baseballs just for 1 minute, please? I beg of you. No? Easy run? Okay. Stolen base attempt. We got him, guys. That wasn't even close. Nice try, Zobrist. I mean, we're doing a good job beating the ball into the ground. That's fun. Okay. Because Chicago is the home team, if we do not score 3 runs to tie the game in the 9th inning, which is very possible, but if we don't, the game is over. They don't play again. The game just ends at that point. So let's try it out. Aroldis Chapman is nasty. He throws really, really hard. He's got some great pitches, but he does struggle throwing strikes. We're gonna try to outthink him here. Normally, his batting eye is not the best, but I'm gonna use my brain power and say, take the pitch. And a called strike. Well, fuck me. We gotta get base runners. We gotta get people on base, or we can't come back. I don't know why. Oh, an error. That is fortuitous. So what happened is Chapman tried to throw the ball. He threw it badly, and the ball went into the dugout. So it's a 2-base error. You know what, guys? It doesn't matter. We're on base. We're cooking. Sort of. And Jose Ramirez moved the base runner up to third. This is called manufacturing a run. This is spending outs to move people into scoring position. Tyler, hit the fucking ball. I don't care where you hit it as hard as you can. Or strike out. That's possible too. That's such a bad decision to swing at that pitch. That's not a good pitch. Carlos, please, I beg of you. Oh my god. Well, that's it. Cleveland clearly did not have their A games today. More like their F games. That was kind of gross. Anyways, let's take a moment and talk about the box score, and that's where we'll end this episode. Hopefully you've had a good time with this one, and hopefully you learned something about baseball. Um, there's some nuances to the game we haven't talked about that are just not worth teaching somebody new to baseball. Things like the infield fly rule and balks. But let's just talk about what did happen in the game. So this is called a box score. If you've ever, if you have a favorite baseball team and you get a newspaper or you go like online or whatever, and you want to see what happened in a game, you can look at what's called a box score. There's some extra bells and whistles here, but let's start here. The line score for the hitters always breaks down in its exact order here. We have the player's name, their position, left field, third base, center field, first base, second base, shortstop, right field, catcher, pitcher. PH is pinch hitter. AB is at bats. That's the number of people who stepped up to the plate and didn't draw a walk. Walks don't count as at bats. Don't worry about it. For now, we'll talk more about statistics in the next episode. Runs, how many runs do we score? 0 of them. The Cubs scored 3. 3 is bigger than 0. I don't know if you knew that. 3 is bigger than 0. And therefore, we did not succeed. H is hit. RBI is... Okay, I didn't talk about RBIs yet. It's a junk stat. It's not really one that you need to pay attention to. But it's worth explaining what it is right now because I'm looking at a box score. If you get a hit when someone else is on base and that person scores, that's a run batted and that's an RBI. Sometimes called a ribby, sometimes called a ribeye. RBI. BB is walk. You may be like, what? BB means base on balls, which is what the official name of a walk is. Why isn't it W? Because W means win. Everyone knows that. K is strikeout. You're like, oh, for fuck's sakes, Abby. Why is it called strike? Why is it K for strikeout? Because SO used to mean shutout, which is when a pitcher pitches an entire game and doesn't give up any runs. If Kyle Hendricks had pitched the 9th inning here, he would have gotten a shutout, probably. However, because that number already existed, it's K for strikeout. I know, I'm sorry. LOB is left on base, which means how many people were on base and did not score when they came up to the plate. Roberto Perez really letting us down here. 3 people left on base because he sucks. A batting average is pretty simple. It's the number of hits over the divided by the number of at-bats. This case, he had 2 at-bats, got 1 hit, 500. You may ask yourself, wait a minute. Is that correct? Didn't he play 4 times? He did. One of those times was a walk. That's one of his plate appearances. He's also the guy that benefited from the error. So that's what happened there. Okay. HR home run. We didn't have any of those in this game. And I don't know why RBI is listed twice. That's funny. I don't know why it's on there twice. A bug, maybe. It tells on at the bottom here. Let's look here. This tells you what actually happened here. So this tells us we got a bat. He got a double, meaning he got to second base. Total bases, 3 hits. 1 by Lonnie Chisenhall, 1 by Kipnis. Double plays. This tells you the order of the double play. If you watch a lot of baseball, you might hear someone say a 6-4-3 double play. It's because every position is numbered. Shortstops are 6, second base is 4, first base is 3, therefore 6-4-3. That is the thing that happens. PB is passed ball, not peanut butter. Don't get excited. Aroldis Chapman was charged with an error. We just saw that happen. CS is caught stealing. Ben Zorbas tried to steal the base, and he was unsuccessful, so he was caught stealing. Hit by pitch, also agreed as HBP, and GIDP is grounded to double play. That's what all that stuff means. Let's look at the pitcher's line. It was going to look quite similar. Okay. IP is innings pitched. How many innings did they complete? The 0.0 is either going to be 0.1 or 0.2. Because you do by thirds of an inning. Why isn't it like 8.3333 because that's stupid. It's just 0.1 and deal with it. H is a hit that they gave up, not a hit that they actually got themselves. Kyle Hendrick has one of those. Fuck Kyle Hendricks. We don't like him here anymore. R is runs given up. ER is earned runs. If somebody scores on the basis of an error, that's called an unearned run, and it doesn't count against your earned run average or ERA. Walks and strikeouts, same thing as they are here. PI is pitches, number of pitches thrown. And finally, ERA, we just talked about, is the number of runs you allowed over the number of innings you pitched. In this case, it is 1/5, which comes out as 1.8. It doesn't seem right to me, actually. I shouldn't be... Isn't a fifth, like, 0.2? Or is it divided by 9 innings? It might be divided by 9 innings, now that I think about it. I'm not sure. Let's find out. I know this by, like, the back of my hand, but for some reason... Or ERA. Oh! It is, you divide number of earned runs allowed by the number of innings pitched and then multiply it by 9. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. I forgot. This is actually really, really good. This means if he played a full game, he would have given up 2 runs, which is actually really good. Yeah. Game score, don't worry about. There's a complicated form that determines how well somebody did. Corey Kluber actually pitched quite well, so I'm not that annoyed by that. A ground out is where the ball hits the ground and somebody picks it up and throws the other person out. A fly out is the ball flies in the air and somebody catches it. Pitches, strikes, all makes sense here. Nothing too crazy here. By far and away, Collins was a better pitcher. Like, this is why they won the game. He was sensational. 2 hits allowed, 2 walks. That's 4 total base runners and 8 strikeouts. That's amazing. He had a great game. And that's where we leave ourselves. So, baseball series always take place in a number of games. You never play somebody just once in a row. In a postseason series like this one, it would be 8. It would be 7 games. So we're going to return to the OTP main screen and maybe cry a little bit because we were unsuccessful. And that, my friends, is Baseball 101, the rules of baseball. If any question about anything I said during the video, please remember to drop them in the comments. I'll address them at the beginning of the next video, so I'll be keeping my eyes open for those. In addition, if you want to learn more, if you want to see more, please consider subscribing to the channel, clicking the bell icon so you can get your notifications. And lastly, if you enjoyed the video, just give it a like. I'd really appreciate that. So, until next time, my friends, this has been AvGuardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.